welcome you to our February FinTech Open Mic Night. Our first entrepreneur is Larry from Surely.
Thanks everyone, and thanks Eddie for having us here tonight. So I want to talk to you today about Surely Group, which is basically a new platform allowing insurers to bring bring products to market very rapidly via a cloud-based admin platform and using social media as a key distribution strategy. And really there are three key drivers behind setting up this business. The first was in the wake of the retail distribution review at the end of 2012 from the FSA and now the FCA. Many more insurers have been looking at the direct-to-customer market. That's largely due to just the disruption happening in the advisor channel. Secondly, the growth of social media, starting to become a potent marketing force. Anybody following the stock prices recently would have seen that. And slow product cycles, which are endemic in the insurance industry. Typically taking something like 9 to 12 months to get a product launched. We're trying to get that down to a matter of weeks. So the two key elements that we think are necessary to make this happen. The first is an admin platform, which is cloud-based and basically takes the customer the whole way through a quotation engine, policy documentation creation, the ability to do premium collection across a range of different payment instruments, all the necessary reporting, and then of course it's not just about buying the product, but it's managing the product post-sale with things like call centers and policyholder self-service. And this has been built, 2014 technology, designed to work across multi-channels, so it works across web, across tablets, and across mobile, and it's multilingual, multi-currency. On the distribution side, we can then run a range of digital campaigns. Of course, we can use Google, but we can also use a range of social media platforms, which I'll show you. We then can take the ads through from the landing pages and sort of track that to death, if you like, in terms of really trying to analyze and optimize for conversion. So if we think about the two parties, we've got consumers and insurers, and what are consumers really looking for? Firstly, they want convenience. They want 24/7 on any device. They're looking for simplicity. The whole notion of going and filling out reams and reams of personal data on a form in order to get just a quotation and they decide it's too expensive for you, we think fundamentally is wrong, and we think quotation should be based purely on the rating factors that are used to generate the quote. And if the person decides they want to buy, they can then fill out all the information that's required afterwards. And reassurance, it's very important for customers, and this ties up with transparency, to understand what is the product, do they need it, what's covered, what isn't covered. Insurers also have requirements. They're trying to find the right customers at the right price. This means the premium needs to be priced properly based on the risk, and this also means the acquisition cost needs to be appropriate. And in order to make that pricing work, insurers are often looking for cross-sell capability and engagement capability and rapid product cycles, which, as I said, these 9 to 12-month periods don't really facilitate. And finally, everybody has to be compliant, and that's treating the customer fairly, but also there's a lot of requirements now from the FCA in terms of testing products, making sure products are suitable, there's the appropriate market for the product from a product governance perspective, and I'll show you some examples of how our platform can assist with that. So we thought there's an opportunity for both parties to create a platform that offers both transparency and innovation. Okay, let's look at the Quote and Buy platform. This is an example of, and the typical products that we're seeking to put on our platform are not, traditional car insurance, which is highly commoditized. We're looking for a range of niche products, typically. So, example here, caravan insurance. You'll see the instant quote in the right-hand corner. Very simple, just 6 questions to get a quote. This is targeted using our brand, but we could equally, I'll show you an example where we could use an insurance brand, so this can all be private labeled. Go through to your quote. In this case, you get a range because there may be some factors which will need to be clarified subsequently which may impact that. And then you're into your quote and buy journey, and the little caravan in this case moves across the top through your personal details, your payment details, the confirmation, the documents are generated electronically, emailed to you, and you're done. This is an example of a dental insurance product in Sweden. Self-same platform. All the information, the pre-sales information along the bottom. You can see in this case the quote is very, very simple. You just have to choose your 5-year age band that you fall in. And coming from that, it takes you into your 3 different products. that you can choose. And then when you come to enter data, in this case, there are 3 fields that you have to enter: your social security number, your email address, and your mobile phone. And from that, we can get all the information we need to create the policy schedule. And again, then enter your payment details, and you're done. That type of short, simple journey is then very amenable to putting it on mobile. So you can see here we've reproduced the exact same, and these are all from live campaigns and live products. You can see here you've got the selection of your age group, you've got your 3 different products, you've got your compliance tick boxes, you've got your 3 fields again, your payment details, and you're done. I mentioned before white labeling. So this is an example of operating under somebody else's brand. This is the Best Doctors brand. They've got a very, very innovative critical illness product which covers you anywhere in the world. And you can see here again a simple quote process. How many adults, and are we including your children? With videos in this case, testimonials. People can come through again and get their quotes. And in terms of support here, for example, you can request quotes by email, you can request brochures, you can request a callback. So depending on the insurer or the broker who's using the system and what support they want to offer, all those leads can be generated. And that's an example of the case study. Okay, so I guess that's the quote and buy system, the admin system. I also said the second part of that is the marketing piece. And anybody dealing in marketing technology, looking at the landscape, and this is almost a year old now, is a year old, would be excused from being completely bewildered by that. And even in social media marketing, there's a plethora of tools and players in that space. But social media is growing and growing. So Hiscox had a recent comment about using social media to reach customers. Just in the last few weeks, Twitter shares up 10% based on strong ad revenues. LinkedIn up 14%, also based partly on strong ad revenues, and Pinterest now getting in on the act as well. So what does the ad journey look like from a customer perspective? This is an example using Facebook, and you can see here in the news feed, you can serve quite a rich ad. You've got imagery, you've got lots of different opportunities to message. But you don't just pick one ad. It's hard to pick a winner when you're advertising. Much easier to take a A/B testing approach. So we have a proliferation of different ads that we can test, and we see what people respond to. A similar example in the dental case that we saw. So what happens here is people see the ads, they click through, and they land on the landing page, which is tied up to that ad. So in this case, this is a GEO ad, which is targeting people who live in Gothenburg. And you can see it's targeted specifically to them, customized for them. Again, a range of different ads. And of course, on the mobile journey, which we have on dental, there's no reason why you can't have that ad in Facebook mobile too. Critical illness policy, a couple of the ads. And in fact, a life insurance product with Liverpool Victoria campaign, which is just going live. Okay, and then, as I mentioned, as far as we're concerned, every click is sacred. So, analytics is important to understand where people are in their journey and what the funnels look like. And I spoke before about the importance of the manage piece. So buying is one thing, managing is another, and the post-sales journey and the admin journey are equally important, and we put quite a lot of effort into that. So in my last minute, I'll talk a little bit about some of the use cases and I guess some of the uses that people are putting this technology to, both stuff that's happened already over the past 6 to 7 months, and also some of the conversations that we're having with people. So the first is insurers who have no D2C capability today, and they might have a niche product on the market, and spending on Google AdWords just doesn't make commercial sense. Maybe insurers who have a strong web D2C capability, but haven't yet been able to invest in mobile capabilities, so they can use us for mobile. Insurers just seeking to test new products in the market. Rather than having a focus group, you could run an action campaign with real customers and get proper feedback. And that ties up to seeking analytics about specific target markets. We don't only have to work with insurers, we're also in conversations with a number of brokers who, say, for example, may operate in their market using TV campaigns and call centres and are now seeking a digital model. And then also just anyone who wants to run social media campaigns in this space. And we've got a number of, I guess, founder customers who we've been working with actively, but we're probably got 4 or 5 new products, probably on a pipeline of about a product a month that we're hoping to launch over the next 4 to 5 months. And bang on time, how's that?
Very good.
Nice. Sure.
Okay, so do we have any questions for Larry?
So technology is one side of insurance, but insurers are used to a lot of variables for pricing, and it's not always easy to come up with a quote based on 3 underlying questions that you want to ask, or 6 for the caravan insurance. How do you manage that from your perspective?
So thanks, Thomas. Obviously at the other extreme, it's trying to plug into the Magnum underwriting engine and Swiss Re, which could be, a very complicated thing, and I've done that in a previous life. I think it's about insurers thinking about a new world of products and thinking about products in a different way. And I think the targeting capabilities that you have allow you to eliminate some of those variables by simply serving the right ad to the right person. So you could say, if we targeted people who are of a certain age, anybody over 50, then you don't have to think about, let's say if you were targeting car insurance at people over 50, you wouldn't have to think about the risks that you have with 18-year-olds buying those policies. And so I think the targeting capability that you have can help that. And in Facebook, there's something like 950 variables that you can target people on. So it can be very, very powerful in terms of segmenting your audience. And then I think it's a mindset thing as well. And I think there are people, even in the life insurance industry now, who are coming up with shorter question sets or saying, do we actually need to ask all these questions? And in some cases, getting away with 10 yes-no questions for eligibility assessment. So I think we need to challenge the insurance industry to do better on that.
Okay, does anyone have another question for Larry?
Hi there. So I'm interested in, so one of the things you mentioned was about, policy differences and trying to make that clear for consumers. So I was wondering, the differences in policies and the nuances of exclusions and things like that, it can be a problem for people. And how you bring that out in your offering and how you make that, those amongst the pages and pages that are, that have to be presented. What are the key points for the consumer that they need to pull out of that?
Thanks, it's a good question. And I think there always are tensions between what the regulatory and compliance requirements are, which are quite severe in this space, versus trying to go, and it's always a tension between marketing and compliance when you're trying to get the final sign-off on the journey. So that's absolutely true. I think it's just by taking an approach of from a UX perspective, a simple modern design, and partly making sure that, so for example, when you saw the comparison between the different products, where we had multiple products, being very clear in there, and a lot of debate goes on as to what are the key points really that make the difference, and what are the key points to highlight there. Allowing people to get the further information when they need it, but trying to just hide some of the small print when it's not actually helpful. And, it's balancing that with financial promotions on social media are very challenging, and there's a whole raft of complexity that comes over there. But I think some people throw up their hands and say it's too hard to do and we're not going to make the effort. And I think one kind of needs to get beyond that, because I think there's a price for doing so.
And have you managed to do that in some automated way in terms of stripping out, the extreme stuff that has to be there but isn't necessarily meaningful, or do you have to do that manually?
At the moment, it's still manual. That's why it takes 6 weeks and not a day.
Larry, thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.